Another one.
If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is an eye to the beholder, and to me they were ugly shoes.
Y'all already know.
Is it the shoes?
Yes, it is. It is still them damn shoes. And upon request, I'm gonna respond to Broaddus. Okay, because a lot of people confused, and I'm gonna really explain it. It's layers. It's layers to see the need. It is. I know a lot of people don't see it. You can't you can't see a crisis if you don't see the crisis. Okay. So this is gonna be a very interesting show. We still talking about them shoes.
Is it the shoes?
And this show, if you've been kind of wondering what's the big deal on Boss talking about this one tick, you gonna know today. You gonna know. I got a lot of receipts as usual. This show gonna be action packed, and it's gonna be historically sound. This is one of those.
You want answers? You can't handle the truth.
You make sure you ready, cause I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna be right back. We can make it better. If we can make it better, say yeah. Come on. What kind of Cowboy fan are you? Man, boy, listen, man. Yeah, this gonna be a good one. I can't wait. I can't wait to give it to you.
If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is an eye to the beholder, and to me they were ugly shoes.
Ugly shoes. Boss, what you talking about shoes, man? What you talking about? So, I've been talking about this for a while. Now, everybody ain't gonna relate with what I'm getting ready to say. But when you somebody that got any kind of fashion sense about yourself, you can get the hat from a place not so ritzy. You can get your shirt from TJ Maxx. You might even hit the jeans and the belt. Everything looking good. But it's one thing you can't go cheap on. The shoes. Shoes is something you just can't. When you trying to make sure your outfit is right, some things you have to pay for. You not gonna get certain things at a discount. You're not gonna be able to just draft certain things and make it fit. That's why I always been calling DTs them shoes. You got to get the shoes right.
Is it the shoes?
And see, I'm going to tell you something. This all stems from Stephen Jones. That's what a lot of people don't know. See, the problem is with Uncle Steven. There is no need that he believes cannot be solved with a draft pick. So for years, we have been scrambling, trying to fill holes when it came down to the DT position with youngsters. And it has never worked. But yet we still tried. And every year, we literally go insane. What do I mean? Every year we go insane. The literal definition of insanity is doing the same thing, but expecting a different result. So at some point, we got to stop. So I'm going to address Broaddus around the middle of the show because I think a lot of people got confused by what he said. I think they misunderstood him. So I'm going to come back to this, but I'm going to talk about this. Listen.
I was doing some work with Jeff Kavanaugh this morning, and we were kind of going through like positions. We're always, we're worried about this, worried about that, and everybody talks about the defensive tackle position. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this and ask you guys this question. Is it really just the defensive tackle's fault for the
good question
lack of run defense here?
Is it just? So you better listen close though. Better listen close. So you can't listen to what you want to hear. You could better see, because he said, is it just? Is it just? So that don't mean he let them off the hook. So you ain't gonna hear me over here at all. So let me give y'all the key. I'm gonna type this real quick. I supposed to have this set up. I'm gonna set it up now. Sometimes you got to be creative and set it up on the spot. I'm finna do this right now. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. Set this up. It's okay. So this is one thing I'm gonna come back to. To help everybody get it. Okay. It's two things. All right. Let's go help everybody get it. All right. The first thing, edge is discipline. One tech is effort and talent. That's the difference. Edge is discipline. One tech is effort and talent. All right. So I'm gonna come back to that. So let's just talk some ball. All right, let's just talk some ball. So obviously, this is something I've been dealing with for a while, for actually years. Right? This ain't something that's new. And DP, you was right. He said, "My bad for all the cussing, but I stand by what you said." Bro, you was right, bro. You was right on what you said about Izzy. Everything you said was right, bro. I ain't tripping. But in my history, I've been talking. This is shows I did last year. Discussions about this heavily as a massive need last year. And I was right. I literally said on one of the shows, you can't be serious about dressing and go cheap on the shoes, Dallas. Which is, I'm still talking about it today. And I'm going to tell y'all something. And I'm going to prove it today. It's worse. We in a worse position than we was last year. It's not better, it's worse. I'm gonna prove it. Now, it's also a potential that it could work out. I'm gonna talk about that too. But see, don't listen to me. Let's start this off last year when we was talking about this with John Machota. And guess what? He brought it up on the final word. Look at this.
I can't believe they didn't do more when they weren't able to re-sign Jonathan Hankins. Like, you're not going to do anything at defensive tackle. And I'm not trying to jump here from all over the team and stuff, but it just, when you said it, it's one of the first things. When you said Henry, all I'm thinking about is, I'm like, that for certain. But to not
see, notice what he's saying. Law brought up Henry, and he was like, nah. John Machota started talking about defensive tackle.
do really anything at defensive tackle. A team that has had trouble against the run, a team that really hasn't had great defensive tackle play for over a decade. Like, really, you didn't bring back Hankins. You're not going to do anything there. That will be the one that stands out most for me. One, and then two is obviously running back. For sure.
Hold on. Wait, Law. I got.
Okay, I mean, I think another year. With Mozzie, I know Zim's looking forward to working with him. I just think Mozzie's going to step up and be a really good football player. But we also know that Hankins was a good fit for us 2 years in a row, and there's usually big defensive tackles out there that you can pick up. I know the Eagles picked up a couple years ago, late in the game, and just feel like there's going to be some opportunities there at that position as well. To add something, to add some depth and some competition for camp.
Yeah. Me and Boss is on the same page, John.
He said, I can see it before camp. Camp is a week away. It's Christmas, John.
And what's funny is that.
And I was saying, he promised that he was going to get them DTs in here before camp. This was July 18th. And I was saying camp a week away. It's Christmas. That's why I said that. That's exactly why I'm like, Santa, where you at? Where you at, Steven? You said you was going to get these guys in before camp. Look. Wait. It's Christmas, John.
And what's funny is that we can sit here and talk about this, and I just find it very hard to believe that Mike Zimmer wouldn't be doing the same thing. Like,
See, this is the funny part about him just saying that. I'm gonna come back to it, all right? Because we gonna come back to John, because John's super cooked. I'm gonna just pause him. I'm gonna come right back to that spot. He said, we talking about this. I find it hard to believe that Zimmer not. Now, guess who was talking about it? Zimmer. Boss, you're being negative. No, I was trying to support my team. That's what I was doing. I was actually in alignment with Zimmer. I wasn't out of bounds. I was in bounds. All the let's wait and see what these young guys can do, people. Y'all was out of bounds. I was inbound. I was in line with what my defensive coordinator wanted. Hold on. Y'all pray for Angie, man. Angie, y'all pray for the homie, man. She going through. Just as a side note, I pray for you already, Angie. Take care, man. And she said with the super chat, it sounds like Steven looks at DT like they're Crocs. You can get any color and slide them on and go. I swear I love Angie, man. I swear, man. Damn, you hit that on the head. That's exactly what I was thinking. They treat DT almost like they don't respect it. To your point, Rebel. To your point, they treat it like they don't respect it. Like it's kind of like, cause think about it. Think about it. Why did we lose the white gorilla? Why? Because he wasn't on the roster. He didn't make it through waivers. He got stole. Why did we lose Rodgers the first time? We ain't have him on the roster. We tried to sneak him on the practice squad. He didn't make it through them waivers. We keep losing people that we should be committed to developing. But because we treat them like, you gonna make it to the practice squad, they don't. See, that's a wait. They say that's a whole other subject, Edgy. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I might address that though, but going back to what John Machota said, he said the way that we talking about this, we can't imagine that Zimmer is not, but Zimmer was. Yeah, the first thing Zimmer did is he sat down and talked to the Doomsday podcast. That was the first thing he did. And that was the first thing he said. The first thing he said is we need more size. That's the first thing he said, man. Now, John Machota, when he said what he said, he was just spitballing. But this shows you that this was actually going on. MJ, he called in a lot. He was mad at me that year. Called me and Big Game James stupid. Because we wasn't buying into Rodgers as a rookie savior. Justin Rodgers, we wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. I was like, nah, bruh. No. And I remember MJ called in. He was like, we got us a new scheme. See, that's why I told him the other day, you do this shit every year, bruh. You call in every year with new hope, and you always think the new scheme is going to save us. You think it's going to, and you blame the old coaches for the breakdown. See, because I've been listening to MJ for a while. I know how him and a lot of people move. So when we went from Jason Garrett to Mike McCarthy, that Jason Garrett, man, we got us a new scheme now. We're going to be good. Then we go from Mike Nolan to Dan Quinn. We got us a new scheme under Dan Quinn. We're getting ready to be good. Then we go from Dan Quinn to Zimmer. We got us a new scheme now. I'm not worried about these DTs. We getting ready to be good. But what do coaches really say about scheme versus talent?
You obviously big focus on stop and run. You got you're inexperienced on paper at the defensive line, even with Mozzie.
Thank you, first of all, Clarence Hill, for that damn good question. My big brother Big in the house. What's up, boy? Hey, I want to say something too. Big, very good video today. Very, very good video. Your walk and talk video was dope. I loved everything about it. If y'all ain't checked out Big's video that he just did, man, y'all go to my boy. Man, that boy, he's stepping up. I loved it. I loved everything he did about it. Just painted the picture of Elam and showed the background on him. Good job, Big. I just want to say that real quick. Y'all make sure y'all support my brother. But going back to Zimmer, and this is what John Machota said. He said, we talking about this. You got to believe Zimmer talking about this. Now, for all the people that like to say, we got us a new scheme, boss. It's going to be fine.
You obviously big focus on stop and run. You got you're inexperienced on paper at the defensive line, even with Mozzie.
Right.
Inexperienced on paper. Remember that. Inexperience on paper. Listen, I came ready today, bro. I came ready today. All right? I ain't playing. I really want to win, bro.
The scheme gonna make that much of a difference?
Is scheme gonna make that big of a difference?
Well, I hope so.
Oh, shit.
Oh, hell no. You can't handle the truth.
You know, it's
No, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want. Well, see, what did I say? What did I say? When it's edge, it's discipline. When it's one tech, it's effort and talent. I'm telling you. Yeah. So check this out. He finally, see, going back to what John Machota said. See, I got to show the history on this.
I don't think Zimmer wants some better. Like, has he not talked to them about this? Like, hey, guys, it's here, 7th round pick. That's all we're doing.
What? Wait. Let's listen to John. Let's just listen. Don't listen to Boss. Don't listen to Boss. Boss he's angry. Boss is angry. Don't listen to him. Listen to John.
Be doing the same thing. Like, you don't think Zimmer wants some better? Like, has he not talked to them about this? Like, hey, guys, it's here, 7th round pick. That's all we're doing.
7th round pick. That's all we doing. Oh yeah. So for all the man, let's wait to camp and see how this work out. Okay. What happened in camp? In camp, Zimmer came out and finally said it.
You know, Mozzie's done a good job in there. We got to find some more noses, obviously, see how these young guys do.
Oh my God. We need to find some more noses, obviously.
If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is an eye to the beholder, and to me they were ugly shoes.
You know, Mozzie's done a good job in there. We got to find some more noses, obviously, see how.
And see, people thought I was being angry, big. They thought I was being angry last year, bruh. Boss, come on, man. We need you to be positive. And I did a whole show and I was like, did y'all not just hear what he just said? This is the thumbnail. We need some noses, obviously. Oh, boss, come on, man. Come on, boss. So this ain't new. Man, I got a clip of me and Big talking about this on the Final Word. I'm gonna do another show last week. And I didn't have time to show it. But Big, he talked about this last year in so much detail, it was scary. I'm gonna show that clip though, 'cause I'm gonna do a part 2 on this. Y'all know I'm gonna be talking about this. So, getting down to Broaddus, okay? Because a lot of people running with this, and I think they running with it the wrong way. All right. Shout out to my boy CFT, man. CFT with the raid. I appreciate you, big dog. CFT is a real dude, man. I felt bad last week because I took last week or Monday off or something. I spent some me time and family time, whatever, right? And I was watching my boy CFT. And he's such a real G. My boy say, hey, man, I'm pretty sure my boy Boss getting ready to go live. So y'all gonna go. He didn't even know I was live or not. He was still sending people my way. Rome is a real dude, man. Everybody ain't trill like that. I mean that. I got good friends. I mean that. All right, but let's go back to this Broaddus. I want y'all to listen to this.
I was doing some work with Jeff Kavanaugh this morning. And we were kind of going through like positions. You know, we're always, we're worried about this, worried about that. And everybody talks about the defensive tackle position. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this and ask you guys this question. Is it really just the defensive tackle's fault for the lack of run defense here? No. And I ask this because the more that I've dove into what some of the issues were, it's really not all on the defensive tackle spot, because if you look at where the Cowboys were one of the worst in the National Football League with where the ball was run against them.
Where the ball was run against them. Pay attention. Listen.
Teams ran the ball on the edge against them almost 60% of the time.
Feasting on the outside.
The outside part of it, but we focus, and I say this because I think as fans, we immediately think defensive tackle problems. But you also, I'm in that mode right now where, okay, I'm watching this. I'm like, okay, yeah, it is. Ball's going to the edge. Ball's getting to the outside. It's not at the tackles. It's on the outside again. And I'm looking at this, and I'm watching the tape of things of how they're playing run defense. And then I go in and I look at some metrics.
So ever since he said that, I've been getting a lot of people have been hitting me up, boss. It's not the one tech, it's the edges. It's the edges, boss. See, you got to pay attention to what he said. First of all, he said it's not just. You got to really listen. See, I come from a background where I had to listen real good, bro. Being top in sales like I was, I had to listen. It became, now it's like ingrained in me. I'm cold with it, See, it's stuff that get by y'all that don't get by me. All right. But see, I ain't gonna say y'all, I'm gonna say some people, because some of y'all fantastic at listening too. So let's break this down. This was Boss Cowboy during the season. Okay. I was disappointed in the containment, not even just of the defensive end, but mostly of the corners. Like, y'all wasn't ready for that. Hold on, let me go back to that. It was super frustrating to see our corners take on blocks and then still allow these guys to bounce outside when you the last containment. You the person that gotta get it bounced inside, and that ain't nothing but a mentality, because when run is coming, because all your guys block down, which what happened to Diggs. So a lot of these guys block down. All you got to do is come up there and sometimes just create a pile. You can just go cut the guys. Let's see. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I mean this. The edges is not a problem in Dallas. It was a problem in Dallas. The edges was a problem the first 6 games. It was not a problem after Detroit. I'm telling y'all, because I've been watching it and I was watching it close. That's why I'm saying after the Saints game, and I'm showing y'all where I was clearly saying it was the corners on the edges that was the breakdown. Legs from under him, make that running back have to really deep bounce it. It was just softness everywhere to me. So this is what a lot of people get messed up. And I'm finna show a whole film breakdown that I did from the Saints and the Ravens, where I went line by line, not data, not stats, the film where I'm showing the A-gap runs and the edge runs, and I'm gonna show you why. And I'm gonna show you who the breakdown is. Now, the problem is when a lot of people hear edge, what's the first thing people think when they hear edge? The first thing that people think when they hear edge, they think it's the defensive ends that's breaking down. So they immediately start thinking about Micah Parsons and Tank. And they start thinking about our defensive ends. And it was not them. The breakdown early in the season on the edge was the corners. A lot of people don't know that's the ultimate edge. People don't know this, but corners have the outside containment. That's the ultimate outside containment is corner. So when everybody heard Broaddus say that they was attacking the edges, they thought they was attacking Micah Parsons. They was not. The attacks that was happening in the run game, they was going at the corners. So I'm gonna tell you, me and Coach Marv and Amp, we talked about this every week, especially Coach Marv, because Coach Marv as a coach, he would talk about the schemes, right? And he would always say, listen, because I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm giving you the real football. So Coach Marv used to always say, when you scheming as an offense, you want to try to get people to do what they don't do naturally. And he would explain. He would say, so what you want to do is you want to try to get corners to tackle, and you want to try to get safeties to cover, because safeties don't like to cover and corners don't like to tackle. So a lot of offenses is going to go at your weakness until that weakness becomes strong. So what happened during the season is the corners was the breakdown on the edges. And as the season went on, they got better and better. So after week 6, it was no more issues with outside containment because the discipline caught up. The edges is about discipline. The one tech is about effort and talent. I'm going to keep saying it. And I'm going to prove it. So hold on real quick. Let me play this real quick. Because this is a breakdown. A whole film breakdown. Sit down. You finna learn some good ass football. Now, this is the thing. I was talking about this during the season. This ain't aftermath content. This ain't I just decided to talk about one tech now. Hell no. This is something that's been, bro, I've been talking about this for years. So listen though, listen. But I really do mean what I said. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not giving y'all any fake optimism. I see some things that's better. Matter of fact, way better. So I see some things. Now, this is after the Ravens loss. And after the loss, I said, I see some things that's way better. Boss, what you talking about? What's way better? Especially because I've already looked at all the running plays for both the Saints as well as the Ravens, because I think, wait, boss, you looked at all the running plays? Yes. That's the number one thing we got to focus on. Oh, what did you say the number one thing we need to focus on? Right now, I think stopping the run should be our number one focus. I think okay. So why do you think Boss is still able to keep up with what really happened during the season? Because me, Amp, and Coach Marv was watching this like hawks. We was watching this like big eyes on this. This wasn't little eyes. We had big concerns over stopping the run. So we was watching this closely, bruh. So this was one of those where I broke down every run play. And you're going to see me address the edges as well as the A-gap breakdowns. Offense is going to come around. I'm pretty sure the offense will come around. The Ravens had a good day, especially being sticky to the receivers. They had a good day. But the offense did show life at the end. They didn't show enough life early. All right, they didn't show enough life early. So I want to get right into the film. All right, I want to get right into the film. I want to just kind of go through each one of these running plays, and I'm gonna just break it down. Damn, boss, you gonna go through each one? Oh, boss just do highlights. that's I'm telling you, they be lying on me, man. I'm telling you, it be other content creators that'll say it. Boss them, man, they just do highlights. Nah. What did boss say he was getting ready to do? Each one. I'm gonna just kind of show you what I see and why I came to the conclusion that we're better. One of the main things that I see that's better is I saw a major improvement from our corners. Oh shit! That's the same thing Brian Broaddus. Boss, you said we need one tech. It sounded like Brian Broaddus was contradicting you. He actually wasn't. See, the difference was the edge just improved. It improved. The discipline improved. This is me doing this in September, dog. I saw it, and I'm gonna show it to you today. Diggs still lost some containment. He lost it twice. That's what Brian Broaddus was talking about. Attacking the edges. But a lot of y'all thinking he was talking about defensive end. I'm gonna show you it was them corners. And it cost us twice. But I did see him as well as Carson doing a much better job of holding containment. So let me just go through the film. All right. Sorry. So if we go through the film, these are each one of the running plays. Boss just show highlights. So on play one, this is Lamar out of shotgun. Hold on real quick. Let me get it better. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me improve the film quality. That's important to me. I got to give y'all quality. Okay, that should be better now. All right, so let me get into the film, man. All right, so going back. All right, so this is shotgun with Mr. Lamar, and he's gonna run left. And the main thing that you're gonna see is the most of the runs and the successful runs came from when the defensive ends was crashing down. Listen to what I'm saying. This is important what I'm saying, because this is a concept. See, because when you see them a lot of times hit them big runs on the outside, you saw the edges crashing. But see, a lot of people, they don't understand some of these concepts that's happening to where they start blaming without even understanding a defensive concept. So listen, I'm going to explain the concept. Okay. Now, it's easy to blame them. Listen to what I said. It's easy to blame them, the edges. Listen, I'm going to be very careful when I explain this. It's easy to blame them and assume that they're at fault. But it really all depends on what type of defense they're playing. Right. Okay, so I want to be real clear as I explain this, because sometimes when you're trying to stop a run pass option, you'll do what's called a scrape exchange. So I didn't explain scrape exchange good enough on this. I'm explaining now. So this is where your edges will intentionally crash down, but the linebacker is supposed to loop and replace them and then take on the same read responsibility to the quarterback. So it allows your edges to be aggressive. So sometimes you'll see them shoot in there and you'll see a quarterback or a running back get outside of them, and we watch it for television. So we'll say, God damn it, Micah Parsons. But it might not have been Micah Parsons, or it might not have been Tank. It might have been the exchange, the scrape exchange, where it was the defense that called for them to crash down like that. That's why I say you got to be very careful when we start blaming without knowing the scheme. Which means that the defensive end is going to automatically crash down on the running back. So what you got to learn to do is you got to learn to know, is this likely an exchange, a scrape exchange, or is this on the edge because they read the read option wrong? Because if you read a read option, right, you're supposed to slow play it if you're not doing a scrape exchange. You're supposed to slow play it. And what you're watching for is you waiting on the quarterback to commit is what it's called. So you got something called a mesh point. The mesh point is when the quarterback puts the ball in the stomach of the running back and he reads the edge. He reads the edge. If the edge is crashing, he's supposed to take off around him. But if he's slow playing it, he gives it to the running back. Okay? Which is the opposite of what they usually supposed to do. And see, my boy Weebo say Micah always crashes. Actually, on this play, he didn't. This would let me know it was on him because he actually slow played this. So this one was actually Micah Parsons' fault. They're usually supposed to have containment on the quarterback. But if they run in a scrape exchange, your defensive ends are going to crash down. And it's their job to, because they're trying to stop the run action, especially when they see at the mesh point a potential run. So the mesh point, remember, see, I didn't explain that good. The mesh point is where they putting that ball in the running back's stomach and he's reading. That's where the quarterback is reading the end. Okay? So I'm talking too fast on this breakdown. I didn't do a good job of explaining mesh point. From this read option. So, but then what's supposed to happen is sometimes the linebacker will scrape. So it's really hard to say who fault it is. So some people, but you can get a good indication if that end slow plays it. If he slow plays it instead of crashing down and they lose containment, it was likely on that edge. People go assume this, Michael. I'm not going to assume it unless you see him slow playing it. I know. Now, one reason you can assume that it's Micah, because Micah slow played this, which means it's not a scrape straight, right? A scrape exchange, right? And his eyes are in the wrong place. It looked like also his eyes was looking at that tight end that was coming to trap him. So that's showing you Michael was on this first play. I believe it was on him. But nothing else going to the edge all day is going to be on him. So when you see him slow playing this, that lets you know that basically it wasn't a scrape exchange. Exactly. So really this is on Micah. Right. So Micah basically didn't read correctly and he'll let Lamar outside. Yep. So an easy gain there. Okay. So, and you can also see this where they contain the run well here. You know. So you go see pretty much mostly through the A gaps, they go do good all day. But you go see Tank right here crashing down. And they get outside of him. So, and the reason why I'm saying it's important to know if they crashing, that could be an indication that it was a scrape exchange. So we can't start blaming without understanding the defensive concept that would make certain times your edges have to crash in there. That's the responsibility. So as I'm looking what I see, and this is a lack of containment that you're going to see with Diggs. So right here, this is what Broaddus was talking about. Diggs is the ultimate containment. Yep. And see, a lot of people, where they mess up, they think when they say edge and attacking the edge, they thinking this is about the defensive end. But this touchdown is going to be because Diggs did not keep his outside shoulder free and keep containment. He's supposed to wash everything back to his help. That's the responsibility of the cornerback. All right. So this touchdown is going to be because of Diggs. Yep. Because they're going to show run action. They're going to stalk block him just like. And see, I need to slow down. See, when I say show run action and they're going to stalk block, A stalk block is when a receiver is clearly not running a route, or he's clearly coming to block you. That's run action. So what you're supposed to do is keep your outside shoulder free, because containment is on you. And he didn't last week. So you see Andrew stalk blocking him, right? So he's also taking on with the wrong shoulder, which we talked about last week. He's supposed to keep that outside shoulder free. It's not free. So they reach him. He can't get off that block. Easy walk-in touchdown. That touchdown is on Diggs. Yep. So this is where Diggs need to improve, because especially after last week, you should have known better, because they did that to y'all all day last week. So, but you're going to see for the most part, good effort on our defense if I just let it play. Because I'm looking at all the running plays. And you see, for the most part, defense swarming to the ball. You see them turning it up inside. And for the most part, they was really containing Derrick Henry. They was doing a pretty good job of containing him, especially early. And to a degree, Lamar. So as you can see, as I'm just letting it play, they really wasn't getting off until we made some mistakes. You know, so right there, I saw Michael Parsons make that same mistake versus the Saints, not the Saints, the Browns, where he doesn't break down. And that's just where Michael Parsons needed to just do a little bit better, just break down just a little bit better right here. You know, they keep getting around him. Like, I've seen Michael Parsons let at least 3 sacks go just because he didn't break down good. Now, let me see. Yeah. So this is just clear push and a line. I want y'all to notice something on these. Watch how many times Overshawn save our ass. Like, for real. Like, watch how many times Michael Parsons, Overshawn make the key tackle. Watch. Just watch. Just let at least 3 sacks go just because he didn't break down good. Now, let me see. Watch Overshawn, bro. So this is just clear push. And a linebacker saved that play right there. That's Overshawn and Eric. But right here, hold on, got us a big old super chat. Hold on, I gotta shut my mouth when y'all start doing this. Hold on. She say, boss, on behalf of the nation, I gotta give you your flowers. You spoil us with efficient content. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that greatly. You know, because a lot of people, I want people to really understand this stuff. I really do. Because then if they don't understand it, we're not going to speak in the same voice. Angie, we're not going to speak in the same voice. So a lot of people misunderstanding Brian. They misunderstanding him. They thinking one tick is not a problem. That's what they thinking. They thinking, oh, it's just the edge. It's like, oh, hell no. It's not the case. It's really nothing you can do because the offensive line just won the push on that. That's just touchdown. You see a lot of Cowboys on their back. But this, and see, I was showing, see, that's going back. Was that an edge problem on that touchdown, or was that the talent in the middle? Because remember, and I'm going to say this over and over, edge is discipline. One tech is effort and talent. This play is interesting because I want y'all to notice something. Watch Tank right here. Y'all keep your eyes on Tank. All right. Versus Andrews. Watch this. What the
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Whoa. Now, this is something that you never supposed to see. I'm highlighting it again. This is something that you never supposed to see.
What the fuck is that?
Tight end pancake. A caliber defensive end. Like, oh my God. Look at this. And see, that's why y'all remember when Overshawn was like, we don't like that soft word. Like, what were we supposed to say, bro? Like, real talk. Like, do we supposed to kiss your ass? When you see a tight end pancake, DeMarcus Long, like, really, how should I tell you that this is unacceptable? Like, how should the fans say that's unacceptable? Where a tight end pancakes DeMarcus Long. How, what's the nicest way to say that's fucking unacceptable? Okay. And so, yeah, as this is a saving tackle by Overshawn right there, because yeah, Overshawn saved another one because he was finna be out the gate without Overshawn. Look, he was almost out the gate. He was almost out the gate. Now this play right here, this is the next play. Now, like, they doing a real good job. Man, look at my boy Louis Fowl, man. Y'all got Louis Fowl messed up. Like, in terms of turning it up. Boy, y'all better watch out for Louis Fowl. That boy is coming. That boy is coming. Now, this particular play, right here is nothing but physicality. All right? Because I looked at every one of these run plays. And see, now somebody say, Boss, he just look at highlights. No, Boss looked at every run play. And I'm breaking down every run play for y'all. And watch Jordan Lewis. See, that's what be frustrating though. I be the one that show the receipts, but I'm the one that get challenged. I'm the one that'll show y'all my work, but people hit me up. Hey, Boss, what you got to say about what Broaddus said? I already said it. Like, I said it September 23rd with the film. I already said it. Why y'all questioning me? I'm the one showed the work. For real. Versus Isaiah Likely. Okay. Watch this. And I'm showing the physicality difference and everything. I'm finna show the physicality difference of the Ravens versus Dallas. Look, and watch Jordan Lewis versus Isaiah Likely right here. So what you seeing, and I'm showing you that on some of these plays, it was just, they was more physical. Watch Jordan Lewis. So right watch here. Jordan Lewis versus Isaiah Likely. Watch this. Bow. Ooh. Definitely a size advantage, but at the same time, everybody got to be way more physical. Now, this is a great tackle by Carson, because this is another play to where they could have been out the gate if it wasn't for Carson. If it wasn't for Carson on that tackle right there, yeah, they could have been out the gate on that one. So, yeah, it's so far. What are y'all seeing? When you see an edge attack, are they attacking the defensive ends or are they attacking the corners? What are you seeing? What is the film showing? Not rumors, not what such and such a whoever said. What's the film saying? Physicality issues that I also see too. So a couple of these, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. It's not all the above, bruh. See, listen, man, y'all gotta be honest. Y'all gotta be honest, bruh. It's not all the. See, why show film if you? I ain't gonna get in my feelings. It's not. We gotta really let the film speak. We can't It's too many of us do that. The film will clearly be showing, and we'll still interpret what we want to see. You are not seeing the edges being attacked in terms of the defensive ends. The film is not showing that. These are wide plays that they're doing. Clearly, this was a scheme to attack the corners. Yeah, defense getting there, man. Yeah, see, defense is getting there. See, when you look at them for a majority of their plays on versus run plays, they was actually pretty decent. Yeah, like good effort by the most part. Like really getting after them. They did it. Like if you really look at each one. Now, if you look at the stats, you will miss it. But if you look at each one of these run plays, now, right here, this is just a piss poor job by Linville Joseph. He is just way too slow off the ball, and he's gonna be one of the main reasons this run get off. Look at this. Yeah. So he getting pushed off the ball and he's slow off the ball. One of the main reasons for that big run. Not really a big run. Now this play is interesting because you gonna see Overshawn, because I'm just showing all the running plays. Now, when it comes to physicality, this is what you want to see. This is also why I'm not mad at Overshawn saying we don't like that soft word. Well, you can say that because you ain't put soft nothing on tape, dog. Watch Overshawn right here. Now, if anybody can say he's offended at hearing the word soft, it should be him. Because watch this. Overshawn is going to be in the right place. He's just going to attack the wrong person. So what you're going to see him do, Overshawn right here, watch him run through this guard. He's going to take out the guard. Watch this. Instead of taking on the running back. Because see, Diggs basically supposed to make him turn that up inside. Right. Because see, the corners have containment. So it should have been a corner going outside, and Overshawn should have been taking the correct alley, and he didn't. He took on the guard, but he gonna lay his ass out. I love this from Overshawn. So Overshawn took outside. Watch this. Now, this is mind over matter because Overshawn is way underweight. Watch this. Containment, which he should have took inside. He gonna do a good job of taking on the guard, but boom, he blows up the guard. But he should have kept that for Henry. Now that's nice. He blew that goddamn guard up. Now look at him. He laid him out. Ooh. That's what you want to see. You want to see, bow. That's what. But see, you should have gave that to Henry. That's right. You know. So this is just a small error where you got the right physicality. It's just on the wrong guy. That's right. Say, man, and Overshawn had the right physicality just on the wrong guy. So put it like this. If you had the mentality to run through a guard, oh, you got the mentality to run through Henry. You know? So that's another big run just based on a very small error. See, that's why I was trying to show in this film session that we was getting better. That's what I was trying to show people. I was showing from the Saints to the Ravens, we was better with small mistakes. But those small mistakes cost us. Yeah. So then as I let it play, because I'm showing y'all that it's really not as bad as what people think it is. So, you know, and for the most part, we was containing the run almost all day. We just need some discipline issues. Now, this particular play, you're going to see a major improvement from Diggs right here. So last week's I was showing y'all how they was losing containment. You go see Diggs on this particular play do a really good job of fighting to keep containment. Watch this. So he stalk block. Now, what did he do this time? Remember I said stalk block is basically where they're coming right at you, clearly signaling that it's a run play. Because the perimeter weapon is not running a route. He's not trying to get open. He's coming to block you. That's what you call a run indicator. And you're supposed to run. You're supposed to respond to that with a run fit. Hold on, we got us another super chat. My boy say, also boss say quality DT will maximize Micah. Appreciate, bro. See, I can, man. That's why I love y'all, bro. Cause we got some smart people, man. Just people that know the game. That he didn't do last week. So when he saw the stalk block coming, and the stalk block is where they basically running at you, not running a route. So when they running at you, that's run action, right? So this time Diggs is gonna take him on with the right shoulder and stay outside. So they couldn't get any extra yards on that play.
That's right.
So you can see that they obviously had a talk about how they was losing containment versus the Saints.
Right.
So when you hear Broaddus talk about the edge, in the beginning of the season, that was discipline. And we watched this week in and week out to the point, but I'm telling y'all, because I watched it like a hawk, y'all. I can tell you the very game it turned. It was after Detroit. We didn't have no more discipline issues on the edge. Also in the interior. See, y'all don't want to hear that. See, but I'm gonna tell the truth, and I'm gonna show my receipts. Cause his first step is outside. If you look at Diggs, his first step when he read run action, right here, he go take that step outside to hold containment and get it turned up as much as he can. And that's what you want to see. So I saw improvement right here. Now, this particular play, I think Mozzie, Mozzie got pushed a little bit. But this next play, Mozzie go get pushed like all the way to hell. Yeah, see. Yeah, that's on Mozzie. And it's on Dono, but that's more on Mozzie. See, this particular play is on Mozzie. Yeah. So y'all watch Mozzie right here. Right here. Yeah, man. Way too much push, brother. Yeah, way too much push if I slow it down. See, Mozzie only got done like this a few times, though. And when Mozzie got done like this is where you saw those big A-gap runs. It happened. I only saw it happen twice to him, though. So right here, he go take on that double, and he just honestly losing. That's all that's happened. He not holding. His shoulders is all the way turned. See, the reason why I said the shoulders are turned, because that's what the running backs are reading. So if the offensive line can turn that defensive lineman, that's exactly what that running back will run. He go run right off of that. So they look to see if that offensive line was able to turn you. Easy read. Yeah, so you already know he downhill now. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry is easily downhill, and that's what caused this particular downhill run. Mozzie. And then he get his boy Carson. Poor Carson gets stiffed off. Ooh. Wee. I was talking to my partner today. I don't know nobody in league history that got a nastier stiff arm than Derrick Henry. Look at this. Bow. Ooh. Man, that boy stiff arm is like a heavyweight jab. I guarantee Carson was checking his lip. I guarantee his lip was bleeding. I guarantee it. Ooh, I'm talking about that stiff arm is. Hold on real quick. Let me look at it one more time. Carson finna get. Bow! Ooh! Wait. Oh, man. Let me keep going. Let me see. But I'm sure y'all. My boy Lewis say, Mozzie can't hold doubles. That's his Achilles heel. Nah, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. All of this was fixed by week 6. Mozzie didn't lose like this no more. I'm telling you. The early part, and see, Zimmer was the one that fixed him and Linville Joseph. That's why I got to do a part 2 on this. Because Zimmer fixed both of them because he started allowing them to attack versus holding their blocks. And that just helped the run game. So they kept doing it. That was the change up for Mozzie and Linville Joseph. And they began to dominate in the middle, even on doubles. So that's something when I do part 2, I'm going to say this is for white cotton. Like some of this stuff that Zimmer figured out, y'all need to keep doing. All these running plays, so you can see, was it really that they was killing us? Was they really killing us? Or was it a few plays that they kind of got loose on us? Yeah, you're right, Lewis. Year 1, he wasn't winning on doubles. But year 2, after week 6, yeah, Mozzie was fine. But year 1, you're right. He was losing on doubles year 1. So this is another one where Tank is gonna crash down. Hold on. Somebody crashed. Yeah, Michael. Yep, Michael crashed down. And see, a lot of people will blame him right there. But see, you got to remember, there's something called a scrape exchange. It could be on him. It could be on a linebacker. It could be on a play call. Because see, this is the thing about a scrape exchange. Let's just think about it. Think about it. If you having Micah crash down and your linebacker supposed to then replace him, what are you really doing if it's going against Lamar? Think about it. What is that really doing if it's a scrape exchange? You are now putting a super athlete on a stiff ass linebacker. That's why I say sometimes it's the play call. But because they crashing down, we shouldn't automatically assume that it was a misread by the edge. Yep. See, this is where the run plays was coming from. The run plays was really, and that's what Broaddus said. So was Boss wrong about the need of one tech? Or was basically Boss just doing the exact same film work early that Broaddus did? Broaddus talked about doing the film work now. I did this film work in September. Coming from the A-gaps, it was coming from them defensive ends crashing down, and they was letting Lamar get outside of them. That's where them big runs was coming from. It wasn't coming from the A-gap. It wasn't really coming from the tackles again. It was coming from the outside again. So, because a lot of times you'll look at the stats and then you'll think, because you see, a big average, you'll say, damn, we must be soft up the middle. And that's what Broaddus was saying, right? That's exactly what he said.
I was doing some work with Jeff Kavanaugh this morning, and we were kind of going through like positions. We're always, we're worried about this, worried about that, and everybody talks about the defensive tackle position. But I wanted to talk to you guys about this and ask you guys this question. Is it really just the defensive tackle's fault for the lack of run defense here?
No.
And I ask this because the more that I've dove into what some of the issues were, it's really not all on the defensive tackle spot, because if you look at where the Cowboys were one of the worst in the National Football League with where the ball was run against them. Teams ran the ball on the edge against them almost 60% of the time.
And most people think when he say edge, they thinking defensive ends. You really not seeing south of the middle. I'm going to only show you 2 plays where the big run play was on Mozzie. But see, and this is another one where Mozzie gets killed again. And another downhill run. See, every time you saw Mozzie killed, you saw one of these downhill runs. Look. It's right here. So, watch this. So you see him losing, giving up a lot of ground on that double. They turned him and tossed him. Super easy read for Derrick Henry. Now he got all this open space. Missed tackle by Dunno. And touchdown. Yep. Carson can't run him down. Bad angle by Diggs. Yeah. So every time, I'm going to tell you, every time you see Mozzie get whooped, you saw a big run like that. Yup. But you didn't see it but twice. But that's all it took. So, yep. That's all it took. Boss, we don't need a one tech. Shit. All right. And I ain't listen, this ain't talking about Mozzie, because Mozzie gonna be straight. Going into year 3, I ain't worried about Mozzie at all. At all. I'm finna explain that. All it took. So, this is the good news though, I want to tell you. Not every team is built like the Ravens. Alright? Because see, a lot of people trying to make it seem simple. They trying to say, oh shit, all you got to do is run the ball on Dallas. Nah, every team ain't built to run the ball like the Ravens. Every team don't have the mentality to run the ball like the Ravens. It's only a few teams left that we go face that have this mentality. And every one of them teams whooped our ass too. Just FYI. Now, they tough and they coming up too. Yep. So one team for sure that's coming up, and I'm gonna still show some more film. I ain't finished. I'm gonna show some more film. But Detroit. Oh. And we know what happened. It's coming. We got red up out of there too, bro. Again. But with a way better offensive line. See, when me and Lou and generation to generation say winter is coming, we not playing. See, y'all thinking one tech for the regular season. You got to think one tech for when it's cold and these teams are going to be running at us nonstop. See, the whole people that's like, why is Boss talking about one tech so much? Because Boss is trying to make us have a top 3 defense, dog. Boss don't care about just making the playoffs or getting to the NFC Championship. That's not good enough. Boss is having the foresight to say winter is coming. Just like I had the foresight that Detroit was coming. San Fran is coming. So we gonna see this again. We gonna see this exact same thing again. Now, this is where this might be good news, because this gives us all a chance to highlight what's going on and to put in requests before the trade deadline. This is where we have to be a smart, intelligent fan base that's really talking about the real solutions. Yeah. Nah, I don't want to. You say, hold on. You say, boss acting like that stopped the pass. I'm only showing how we did against the run. I'm not showing against the pass today. I'm not doing that. So, and I said our watch party, if anybody was in here in the watch party, what really beat us was big plays. That's what really beat the Dallas Cowboys. OG Law in the building. What's up, big brother? My bro. Cowboys versus this team. Mistakes and big plays on defense. So, and a lot of those was also little things again. Yeah, this is a good question. He said, do you have anybody in mind? I mean, Jonathan Allen, the most ideal. Oh, and I was wrong. I was actually wrong on that.
Sleeping on me now, cooking your nigga.
Because guess what? We ended up not needing Jonathan Allen at all. Because guess what? Zimmer fixed it. Zimmer fixed it to where we didn't need Jonathan Allen. Boss was actually wrong right there. I was wrong. I don't mind admitting it. And see, I like what you said, Cowboys politics. See, I like what you said, Cowboys politics. Oh, shuck it, duck it now. See, because Jay Brother just got waived by the Chiefs. Jay Brother, Ika just got waived by the Chiefs. Boss, that likely means he's a bum. Not all the time. Sometimes these dudes just in deep rooms. Who's the DT over there? Who's the one tech with Kansas City? The best one in the league. Sometimes they just make you expendable. See, you know, he not Chris Jones. And see Ika is right around that time. He should start hitting his maturity. This is the time we should be. Come on, our camp. Come play with your brother. Come play with your little brother. Let's see if y'all get each other going. Why not? Because that's Jay's big brother. And I'm going to tell you, Law right. We need that one tech, bro. So let me explain why. Because I know a lot of people ain't understanding. I think people misunderstanding me, Law, and everybody else that's preaching this. They misunderstand it. So let me make this clear. I made this diagram and just to kind of explain it. I'm doing everything I can to get people to get it. So first, this is what it is right here. This is what we going into the season with. This is what it is. This is what it should be. I'm explaining. So what it is right now is Mozzie is exactly where he should be in terms of his maturity. So Mozzie and most trench players, edge, 3 techs, 1 techs, almost every one of them truly hit their true maturity by year 3. That's where you see them career-wise turn the corner. That's where Mozzie is. And Mozzie also finished the year strong. He needs no surgeries. He needed surgery last year. Plus, he needed to gain weight last year. He has none of those complications this year. This year, Mozzie is working on what he's supposed to. His weight, his strength, and being ready to go by training camp. Mozzie is exactly where you want to be right now. But this is where a lot of people keep messing up. They think for whatever reason that we not finna rotate. Because the question gonna be not Mozzie. The question is what you go do besides Mozzie. That's the question.
We not hating on Mozzie. We believe he gonna be properly that guy going into year 3. What we concerned about is the depth behind Mozzie. You need a rotation and you need a quality rotation. I don't want to depend on guys who had literally no reps in a game, dog. I don't want to depend on guys who had literally no reps in a game, dog. I don't want to depend on guys who had literally no reps in a game, dog. I don't want to depend on guys who had literally no reps in a game, dog. What you're asking people to do is you're saying, hey guys, in college you was playing 12 games.
Listen, man. Because this is what people don't understand about 1 tech. See, people think just because you're big, they'll say, ooh, Jay is 340. He's going to be just fine. No, bro. No. It don't work like that, bro. No. You going against grown-ass men who been in the league a long time. Botch call it peanut butter. I call it steak and potatoes. Who are fully matured and their bodies have adapted to long seasons. You taking guys who only played 12 games max, and now you telling them minimum to now your starting point is 17 in a heavyweight fight. Game in, game out. That's what you're asking of young people. That's why I know me and Law are right. You supposed to have a veteran in here until your young DTs mature.
What you're asking people to do is you're saying, hey guys, in college you was playing 12 games. We're starting you at 17. Okay, no, I need some guys who've been through 17 games, dog, because that's the starting benchmark of the 1 tech, homeboy. We asking for a young dude to do this when the league is now a running league.
Man. Boss, what do you... I'm trying to explain why the rotation of 1 tech is important. I ain't trying to get no 1 tech to replace Mozzie. Mozzie finna do good. Y'all need to listen better to what I'm saying. You need somebody in here to help support Mozzie and help support the young DTs.
So guess what you gonna run into in winter, dog?
Philly.
Go ahead.
Kansas City.
And what you think they gonna do?
Detroit.
What they gonna do?
And see, I kept saying, what they gonna do? I was basically saying they finna run at us. See, when winter come, see all this George Pickens. We so fun. Look at all this fun we having. We throwing the ball. Shit. Wait till it get cold. Yeah. See, it's different when it get cold. See, we need something that can travel with us.
And what you think they gonna do?
Detroit.
What they gonna do?
But these offensive linemen ain't playing with y'all. They will put you on your ass.
Yep. See, and we warning. Boss, you just being negative. No, I love my team, brother. Anybody that love their team should be sounding the alarm if you sense danger, dog. So, and I'm going to tell you why I know delusion is strong in the community right now. You know how I know delusion is at its apex right now? You know how I know? Because we talking about Jay before we talking about the year 2 DTs. That's showing me that we are drinking the insanity Kool-Aid. Insanity is doing the same thing, but expecting a different result. That's what we doing. The Islander. I would know we was in a better place mentally if y'all was talking about Rodgers. Y'all ain't talking about no damn Rodgers. Y'all talking about Jay. And that's showing me you delusional. Delusional as fuck. Our best chance is Denzel Jackson and Rodgers going into year 2. That's your real best chance. And the only reason I don't trust them is because they ain't got no developmental reps. What I'm trusting is that y'all go take the jump that Awesome Riches did going from year 1 to year 2 in strength. But see, their endurance of the season has not been tested. That's why you can't trust them damn shoes.
If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is an eye to the beholder, and to me, they were ugly shoes.
This is what it is. This is what it is. This is also Stephen Jones being Stephen Jones right under y'all nose. Stephen Jones is basically betting and going all in again on our guys. He basically saying, I'm finna throw late round DTs with Mozzie and hope it works out. Your best chance of it working is Rodgers and Denzel Jackson. But I'm gonna tell you, I think it's very, very wrong for us to put all those expectations on Jay. That's insanity. So let me ask you. How was Quentin Bohanna year 1? How was Mozzie year 1? Your first rounder. How was Tristan Hill year one? How was Neville Gallimore year one? How was Osa year one? The best one was Osa. Osa had the fastest, best start I have ever seen. But guess what happened to him by week 10, week 11? But how many games do they play in college? 12. So is it a coincidence that even though Osa jumped out fast, you asking them big boys to have veteran experience instantly and be able to go the long haul instantly. Y'all don't think we asking too much, bruh? Y'all don't think we asking too much? I think, and it's, guess what? It's not their fault. It's not Mozzie fault. It's not Tristan Hill fault. It's not Gallimore fault. You know who fault it is? Our fault. With these insane ass expectations, it's our fault. Because we doing it again. And we go do it again next year until somebody say stop this dumb ass shit. Where we are the only fucking fan base that really believe a rookie Jay is gonna come in here and be an instant impact. You doing Jay wrong, bruh. Now, I'm gonna tell you how, in my opinion, this is what it is. I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, what it should be. Because I ain't even asking for that much. Same thing. Mozzie going into year 3. So he's where he's supposed to be. In my opinion, we should bring in a veteran bridge. A veteran bridge player. And we go let them other 4 battle it out for the roster spot. Because either you go be on the roster or you go be on a practice squad. The no pro reps guys. Because if you make the roster, we're going to give you some reps, but we smart enough to know these are developmental reps. I'm not looking at Jay to be the man now. I'm looking at him to contribute now. I'm not looking for Denzel Jackson to be the man now. I would want him to contribute now. I'm not looking for Rodgers to be the man now with Mozzie. I'm looking for him to contribute. I want Denzel Jackson and Justin Rodgers ready to go by next year. See, if we do it right, we won't need DTs going into next year. Because Mozzie will be going into year 4. Justin Rodgers will be going into year 3. Denzel Jackson will be going into year 3. And they should be hitting their maturity, but they need developmental reps. They don't need to be thrown in the fire in winter. Because this is what it is. This is what it should be. You should only get the vets to bridge your young guys into vets. But Dallas don't do it like that. See, Stephen Jones, the way that he thinks is he really thinks, and I'm telling y'all, he thinks a draft pick can solve any problem. And there are certain things you just got to spend money on to get that outfit right.
Is it the shoes?
You gotta, hey man, you can't be cheap everywhere, Steven. You can't, but you trying to be.
If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look
Is
of them,
it the
the style of
shoes?
them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is an eye to the beholder, and to me they were ugly shoes.
But yes, Stephen Jones will try to talk us into it, and fans like MJ, and shout out to MJ, because he really believed it. But at some point, I got to be like, bro, no, bro. No. And see, I'm telling you, this gonna be the last year I'm gonna let these content creators do that shit, bro. I'm telling you. This gonna be the last year I let these people go out there and feed opioid dope to the community. You can't care about your community and let people sell dope in it. And be like, well, that's my boy, so I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing because that's my homie. But then every time we draft a 7th round or 6th round DT, they put these hype ass videos out there making you think these boys finna come be heroes. And then they get their ass whooped, and then we turn them and start calling them bust. And it's not them, it's us. It's not them. It's our expectation. Listen, I'm intentionally gonna make it real uncomfortable for my content creators, brothers and sisters. I'm not gonna let y'all do that shit next year, bro. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. Because this is my city, bro. This ain't just my team. This is my city. I take it real personal, dog. Especially if you saying that shit and you ain't from here. I look at it like sabotage. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like some of y'all sabotaging my squad and my city for your money. Your money is not gonna be the reason, and your growth is not gonna be the reason I let you sell out my team. So make a choice next year when you do that video and you decide to hype up Jay. Don't let me see it. Don't let me see it, because I'm going to respond to it. And I'm going to say, this is the shit I was talking about right here. This is the same dumb shit we did last year, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that. It's time to call this shit out, bruh. Because then when I come try to do the good work and start talking about what we really need to do to win a championship, most of the fans don't want to hear it because they bought into y'all lies. And they drunk on this opioid dope and this sugar that we fed them. We fed them that. We created these monsters and these zombies. So when I'm trying to warn, nobody even want to listen to Boss. Boss, shut up. You're being negative. Nah, no more selling out my city, dog. I promise you that.
Sometimes that is what it's like being an uncompromised content creator. So what do I mean, right? If you know the story of Final Destination, you know, Alex got on the plane and he saw these things kind of unraveling about the plane and the seatbelt not clicking and the baby and all sorts of stuff. And he saw in his vision, hey, this plane to Paris is going to blow up. I am getting off the plane because it just doesn't feel right to me, right? And when he was saying, hey, the plane's going to blow up, the plane's going to crash, the plane's going to blow up, everyone get off, there were some people who put their blindfolds on, put their headphones on, completely ignored the fact that somebody on the plane is screaming the plane is about to blow up. Catch my drift, right? So eventually what happens is he gets carried off the plane. Some others get carried off the plane as well and miss out on their trip to Paris. But what ultimately ends up happening, right? The plane, boom, blows up. And those people who got off the plane lived, and everybody paid the price, right? So what am I doing when I come to this analogy, right? Yeah, the trucks. Yeah, the log trucks, that's another one. I don't do no log trucks, and I do not do no water bottles in my car. You know what I'm saying? For that reason, you know what I'm saying? Final Destination 2 is a classic as well, right? But it's the same approach sometimes as a Cowboys content creator, media, or whatever you guys want to call us, right? I feel like sometimes it happens to my guy, Big Game James. Sometimes it happens to Boss Cowboy. You know, it's happening to Clarence Hill right now. It happens to me often where we're saying, hey, we need a defensive tackle. We need a one tech. Hey, we gotta get a defensive tackle. We won't be able to stop the run. If we do not get a defensive tackle, we won't be able to stop the run, and our season's going to crash. We got to get, so we're screaming on the plane, hey, go get a defensive tackle. And then there are some people who put their blindfolds on, put their headphones on. Just this old crazy Jay Tuck, he's always just being concerned. He's just always being fearful. Right, he's always just being negative. Where we're saying, I've seen it, right? I've as a Cowboys fan, I've seen what it's like when we get into the playoffs and we can't stop the run, or down the stretch when we don't have the defensive tackles to stop the run, and we won't be able to keep our linebackers clean. Like, we need to get him off the plane. Get him off the plane. Get Boss Cowboy off the plane. Get old crazy Pop Clarence off the plane. Get these people off the plane. Right?
If Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly ass shoes.
You thought those were ugly ass shoes?
Yes.
Why were they ugly ass shoes?
Because in my mind, they were.
What about them was ugly, Mr. Simpson?
The look of them, the style of them.
What about the style?
I don't know, they were ugly to me. Aesthetically, I felt that they were ugly, and I guess beauty is an eye to the beholder, and to me, they were ugly shoes.
Is it the shoes?